Okay, so I mentioned about the problems that some priests and music ministers and that sort of thing have with making the official mass their own, coming from their heart. At any rate, so I wanted to point out that if you go to EWTN, watch one of their masses or some of their masses, which I started doing maybe a little over a year ago. For whatever reason, I went to look at it because I've never been a person to be watching Mass on TV before. You know, I go to Mass myself, I'm not watching it on TV. But I watched some, and one thing I noticed about their Masses is that usually there's a greater or lesser degree of Latin, probably a little bit more Latin than you're accustomed to at your local Mass. So that kind of made me wonder. So I went to the document of Vatican II that deals with the liturgy, you know, and gives the instructions and the norms on it. And this is the one. This is the document or thing, the instruction that permits the vernacular in the Mass, because that was a big thing about Vatican II. And when you read it, you know, it's really shocking to read that. Whoa. The vernacular is permitted, but it specifically says that the laity is supposed to be, they're supposed to take care that the laity can participate in their parts in Latin. And you're going like, what? How many, I don't know, 50, how long's it been since Vatican II? I never heard that before. I never knew that. And this is a document from like 1962 or whatever. I mean, this isn't something new. So you're looking at that going, wow, we're supposed to be able to participate in Latin? Okay, so it turns out, yeah, I guess EWTN, they know that, and they're trying to do it. They're trying to encourage us to do what we're supposed to do. I mean, not overbearingly, I wouldn't say, but yeah, you can see that they're, you know, that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be encouraging our participation in Latin. And then I guess they have not guessed, but they've published a little booklet that could help you do that. I'm going, wow. Anyway, that's a surprise. So I would say go to watch it. If you want to see how the Mass is really supposed to be done, go look at the EWTN Mass. The other thing I'll note about them is their choir. Their choir, which is excellent. I don't know how they do it. I don't know where they got all these people in Irondale, Alabama, which is not a hotbed of Catholicism traditionally down in Alabama, but they've got this. They've got an amazing choir, but the choir is screened off from the body of the church or whatever, the nave or whatever it is, and there's a reason for that. They're not there performing. They're not there to be seen. And so there's another thing is that you see it, so you're going like, wow, they even do that right. Yeah, the music ministry is not calling attention to itself, which if you go to most churches, especially around where I live, that's not the problem. They're out there, you know, banging on their banjo like a chimpanzee. You know, I mean, they're calling plenty as much attention to themselves as they can. But so you see that. So the music ministry is being done right, and they're doing the Mass how it's supposed to be done, and. Which I would note, one of the other things that they do is the sign of peace is optional. A lot of people don't understand that, and they omit it. And I understand why they omit it, because it distracts attention from our Lord's real presence on the altar. It's a simple thing. I mean, I understand why they're omitting it. They don't say that, but I can understand. That's why they're doing it. And actually, I agree with that. It would be better to silently reverence him, and that would be our sign of peace to each other, is that we're adoring him. That's a pretty good sign of peace. So EWTN, either on their app or on YouTube, okay?